everyone, it's that time of year again, and con season is finally here. All the cool conventions are now starting up, and with conventions comes long lines. Yes, you know those long lines. You stand in them, waiting for whatever is at the end of those lines. That's going to be fantastic to do, but in the meantime, you're there, standing and waiting, and seeing other people having merriment, but you were there still in that line with nothing to do. But I have something for you. I have a Kickstarter game that requires no surface to play and a very short playtime. I give you Dragon Punch. Now, Dragon Punch does not require a surface, but I do require a surface to be able to show you how the game is played. So first of all, both players will get 6 cards, which are both the same for both players. You're going to get a low poke, fireball, taunt, throw, block, and a high kick. So those will all go into your hand, and then you will also pick a fighter to represent yourself, and each fighter has a couple of abilities on those cards as well. So let's pick this pro wrestler dude because pro wrestling is pretty awesome. So you'll take all the cards and you'll put them into your hand, and they'll go into your hand with the light side up. That is very important to the game. So you'll have those cards into your hand with the light side up, and you will choose an ability to do. You'll always choose an ability that you have face up, not any of the ones that you have face down that are upside down to you. Those will come later. So you will choose an ability and what to do. So let me show you what some of these cards do. They all have a little flavor text of what they do, but you also have to look at these numbers here with these symbols. The card right here, this throw card here, has a 2 and a fireball, which that means if it's successful, it's going to do 2 damage. They also have this small number here, which tells you the order in which the cards go into effect. Low numbers go before high numbers. Blocks, obviously, they block the attack that was done as long as the block is in the same position as the opposing attack. And then you also have a evade. As long as the evade is in the same place as an attack, your evade is successful, and you'll look at your other thing and see if that's successful and see who goes first. So what you do, you will pick a card. So let's just say, let's do this throw here. So you're going to take throw into your hand, and you're going to put it towards the front of your hand. And I usually stick it up a little bit to say, hey, I'm ready. Your opponent will do the same thing. They'll pick a card, and then 1, 2, 3, you will flip your card to your opponent. So you flip the card facing your opponent so they can see what you are trying to do to them. And then you will compare the small number here to see whose number is lower. If the 5 was the low number, you would successfully do 2 damage to your opponent and do what the text says on there. For your opponent, how they choose, or how they can indicate that they've taken 2 damage, is they're going to take their cards. Let me just throw a fighter in there too. So they're going to take their cards, and let's just say they did, let's say they did taunt. Taunt wouldn't do anything. So the taunt would be face down. And what they're going to do is they have to take the 2 damage. So to take 2 damage, you take 2 of your light cards, and you're going to flip them to their red side, which now gives them different abilities, and actually stronger abilities, but now the white sides are no longer available to them. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your opponent to get the 6 damage, including the one that you have flipped around, all to the red side, and that player is knocked out. Now, another thing to take into mind is that once a card is flipped around like this, it won't come back to you until the next round is played. So my throw is not available to me, so I have to pick a different ability. Let's just say I do like low poke. I do that, flip it around after my opponent is ready. We will battle out, see who takes the damage, and then my initial card gets returned to me. You are never allowed to just flip over the cards just because you want to. You have to keep them in the orientation that they're in. When you take damage, they're going to stay on the red side, with the exception of your personal fighter. Your fighter can flip, and you can use either ability as much as you want. It's just, once you use it, he's going to flip around until he comes back to you, and then you can still use either side, whichever one you wanted to use. And that is Dragon Punch. So Dragon Punch is on Kickstarter right now. It is a great game, especially as I said in the intro, to play in lines. You could play it in the car as you're driving to the convention. Not if you're driving though, if you're in the passenger or the back seat. Don't play games while you drive with physical components. That's dangerous. Don't do that. But it's going to be a great game for those confined times and confined spaces where you just don't have the surface to play. Because you're going to hold the cards in your hand, you're going to choose and just quickly play the Street Fighter-esque type game. It is pretty fun to play, really quick play, as I keep on saying. So check them out on Kickstarter. Links will be down below. And definitely check out Dragon Punch. Also, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and support Cloak and Meeple. Links will also be down below. Thanks. I have a solution for you. I have a Kickstarter game showing you how blah, 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 blah.